Hey everyone, Luna here. I guess you can tell what this video is going to be about from the title and all. Well, I'm just gonna talk about how I feel about the whole situation. This is not a rant in any sense of the word. This is just my stance on what's been going on. I won't go into what happened in August, but if you have no idea what happened back then, that really is for the best. Both sides were being petty and stupid. There's no reason to open up that can of worms again. Before I go into any of this, let me state a few things. 1. These are my views and opinions. The others who were involved in the drama being the Raging Redheads, Icy Hazard, BluDavu, and whoever else Saki had an issue with, they did not weigh in on this video. This is strictly me. If you are to get mad at anyone for this, you're to get mad at me. 2. No matter my views towards Saki, she's still a person, and every person is to be given some respect. I do not promote witch hunting. Even if this is not a rant, you shouldn't go after people regardless. And 3. Please don't see this as some way of myself trying to get pity. With everything that's happened, I don't want to drag out the drama. I want it to end. I don't do this to get attention. If anything, I hope that things will change. This is why I actually posted this video instead of just listing it to private. As I've mentioned to people before, while it might be off my chest, I would feel even worse seeing that nothing's changed and the cycle has continued. So, without further ado, let's get into it. We can begin with what happened in October that led to 2 of the rants on Saki. Her tracing and trying to manipulate people. It wasn't even myself that pointed out the tracing, yet it was meant to be bait for me and Icy. It's honestly a bit ironic because she had been brought to my attention after Custer Swirl started going after her, and I said this to myself. Maybe her attitude is bad, but at least she has good art. It seemed like even trying to give her that compliment would be nothing more than a slap to the face. She was found to be doing something that could have possibly ended her career on DeviantArt completely for the sake of trying to bait me and trying to start off drama again. In fact, I'm pretty sure the tracing happened before I started seeing all the custard drama on her page, which was still a bit of a shock. Saki has always considered herself more mature, so it made me wonder if it was really her doing. Sadly, it turned out to be true. Next, we can go into something else that really, well, I hate to use this phrase, but it really did grind my gears. As we know at this point, Saki did have cancer. She's gone through treatments for it, and to my knowledge, she's now cancer-free. That's not what bothered me. It was the fact that she sought out pity, and of course, called her cancer karma. Okay, a little bit of a personal story here, but about a month ago, I lost a great aunt to leukemia after 18 months of refusing treatment so she could die on her own terms. And leukemia also took her daughter years beforehand. Cancer is not something that you can get through karma. I don't care what you believe, but no. If cancer was supposed to be karma for quote-unquote all the bad that you've done, then somebody else would have been diagnosed with it. Someone who you've had a problem with, like me, Mickey Shiva, someone. And as someone who is involved in the Full Metal Alchemist fandom, I thought that Saki would understand the concept of equivalent exchange. this was not equivalent. It was something terrible that happened to her. But going on, she continued to repeat the same thing over and over, digging a rut for herself, calling quote-unquote Saki worse than Kura and Custard combined, when in reality, I don't know if Kura ever left. Okay, before you get upset at that statement, let me explain my thoughts on that whole thing. Now, I've had my name online for almost 6 years now. LunaKaramura has been my thing for quite a while now. But was I the same person at age 18? What about age 15? Or even the same person I was back in August? Why I bring this up is because, no, you aren't the same person at that time. You mature, you gain experience, and hopefully learn from your mistakes. But that doesn't mean you split into a separate personality, as Saki tried to compare her quote-unquote inner demons to. You do stupid shit at a certain age. You learn from it and, again, hopefully do better in the future. Some people will backtrack, that's true, but that can happen a lot when someone gets big fast. Trust me, I've gotten a bit too big for my britches at one point too. Some people go through that phase, and it's okay. They feel as though they finally made it, despite what's happened, and they might feel a bit like they're better than those people they had drama with. It's a deadly combination that can lead to falling outs and posts that you'll later regret when you mature further. But back onto the Kura-Saki thing. Saki, as Kura, had trouble with the username Mayo and her friends. A lot happened, and Saki came back as Saki with a new group of friends. She got along with them, her popularity skyrocketed. Then later, there was another falling out. Despite her trying to come back under a new nickname, it was still her behind the keyboard and the microphone. I would not be surprised if she made some sort of scissor comment towards the people in the past as well. I'm getting a bit off topic here, so let's continue. It seems Saki has a history of going in a cycle, sending herself anonymous hate and other things to beat herself up. Which, to be honest, I have a feeling that's what Project 86 may be about. Speaking of that, I should get into the main rant episodes before I derail any further. Now, the mini rants. She said they were pointed at the people who kept saying that Project 86 was going to be about myself or the others involved in the drama. But in my opinion, I don't think that's the case. I don't have much to go off of. I have not directly spoken to her since August, but I do have a bit of a hint towards that. I mentioned Mayo earlier, but here's the thing that bugs me. You'd think after making that message to Mayo, she'd be done and wouldn't touch that video again. Well, after I was alerted to the beginning of the mini rants, I scrolled through her channel. The Mayo video was updated to show her latest DeviantArt username. But why? If Saki was done with Mayo, then why continue on about her? And more importantly, why update the video? Keep in mind, that video doesn't have a disclaimer. Then you come to the mini rants, which are in order: Mayo, Lulu, Icy, and then Shiva. Which, there were two more planned, myself and Mickey. It didn't help, I also came across the updated video the same day that the mini rant about Mayo came out. Putting two and two together, and coupled with how sickeningly sweet her responses have been to people, it's almost as if she's being two-faced. Showing a side that's practically screaming diabetes, it's so sweet, than making these videos because it's become obvious that she was in no way done with this. Alright, let's wrap this up. Saki, if you do find this, let's get this done and over with. You need to reconsider how you react to people. I know that because of the type of cancer you were diagnosed with, there will be some issues with your mood. Your thyroid affects your hormones after all. And once those are thrown out of whack, you have to try a lot harder to fight the urge to do something stupid. If you honestly feel like making these videos as jabs at the stupid assholes, which, yeah, I was one of them, you need to seriously reevaluate yourself. Those mini rants may have been a jab at people who continue pestering you about Project 86, but did you not stop to think how maybe the people you name-dropped would be affected by them? Opening with something obviously directed towards them, then trying to go off in a different direction for comedic purposes? I remember someone else who did that, and yes, not to spark up that drama again, but Custard did the same thing, where they said they hated fags, but then tried to play it off that it was about cigarettes and not gay people, for the views and the attention. I know how much you hate being compared to them, but I did see a similarity in that aspect. All of us have been moving on. I myself have been improving my art to the point people are following me for my drawings more than my literature. We've all been working our art and having fun, without making digs at you. In fact, the only jab, if you can call it that, was turning your little videos into jokes, by doing our personas as how you describe them. And that's been what, the past few days? Something you began, and we turned it around into a positive without even mentioning your name? I've tried to look on the positive when it comes to you. The streams we did together, the calls, the gifts you gave me. And yes, if you guys don't know, Saki was the one who gave me my 1 year of core. She also spent some extra points and commissioned someone to draw one of my characters. We tried to talk all the time when we weren't busy with personal life, and we always tried to include her. I did think of her as a close friend and perhaps even family, because if you know me, I tend to be a bit too trusting. Hell, the girls? I talk to them more than I talk to my actual family. We all have bigger and more important things to do, and I'm sure that Saki does too. I myself have a job that I've recently started while at college. I'm working on my art, and soon I'll be starting on my own novel in hopes of one day publishing it. Some people that Saki have tried to drag through the mud are going to be selling at their local cons or giving speeches to a crowd. It seems the only one that's still getting dragged through the mud is herself, and she's doing it to herself. Honestly, that's the saddest thing about this whole mess. Why wallow in self-pity? You waste your time doing that when you could actually be making the world a better place. And I mean actually making it a better place, not feeding to the trolls and trying to bait people. Saki, or rather, I'll say the whole username, Sakura Araragi. Please, I know you, and I don't get along with you, but let me extend some words of advice. Try to find something that you enjoy, and when you see that hate, just delete it. Ranters are supposed to be mature, right? You've said it yourself. It's time to lead by example rather than make yourself a laughingstock. The people you have problems with have all moved on, but you have not started those steps toward bettering yourself. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. That is the saying, right? The idea of changing is a terrifying thing, but you just have to push through it. It's going to be a long road, but you'll never see progress if you don't take that first step. I'd like to thank everyone who listened to me here, and I hope you see where I'm coming from with this. Comments, if I can figure it out, will be disabled for this video. If you find this and want to weigh in, I'd like to ask if you can refrain from it. This video wasn't made to blow things out of proportion, and honestly, it's just my venting about everything that's happened. I'm sorry this was super long, and I do hope to get out more videos soon. And real quick, if you've seen my I'm Not Dead video, let me make something really clear. This is not the video that I mentioned was in the works in that. Actually, that video has been 86 itself. The person I was going to talk about has actually left DeviantArt about 5 months ago. The only reason I tried to validate making that was because the account is still active. It was going to be a little piece about art thieves and recolors or adding on to an image, but what's the point if the person isn't even doing that anymore and they've abandoned the account? Anyway, I've done enough talking for one night. I'll see you all in the next video, or somewhere on DA or Instagram. Thanks for tuning in. Bye guys.